Open grazing ban. Herders may migrate to north, says Yahaya. As the ultimatum for the open grazing ban in southern Nigeria expired on September 1st, the Gombe State Governor Inuwa Yahaya has urged the President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, to hasten the implementation of the National Livestock Transformation Plan. Briefing State House correspondents on Wednesday after a meeting he had with the President at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Yahaya said the implementation would address the challenge of accommodation that might result from the mass return of herders back to the north following the ban. He stressed the need to develop the Wawa Zange grazing reserve in the state to accommodate a large number of herders that are likely to migrate to the north. Okay? I mean, they're going to have to do that anyway, to be honest. I mean, what if, of course, I understand, okay, fine, everyone migrates, every society, you cannot be stable, you have to move, you have to travel for various reasons, absolutely justified, makes sense. But as a government, you have to cater to your indigents, and obviously being indigents, because again, we can't pretend and say that, Nigeria is one, and say Nigeria is just one entity, we're one language, you can't do that. You really cannot. You can't compare it to England or Spain where there is one language, but of course there's just different dialects here and there, but it's the same thing. So there's really never there aren't really stark strong differences in cultures that are designated by states, and then there are 36 states. Come on, so yeah, they're gonna have to sort that out, because obviously I do think that, the banning of grazing is very much extreme, but it is extreme as a result of negligence on the part of the government to actually bring to justice, and also, tackle the issue of insecurity and, the clashes at an early side, and then pushing for, states to give out their resources to Fulani herdsmen as some sort of entitlement because they are Nigerians, to further help their private businesses at the expense of the actual indigents of the state who actually own the resources. That is absolutely just ludicrous. It does not make sense at all. Yeah, somebody here says that would be better for us and allow peace trade in the south. A lot of unused land abundantly in the north, including Sambisa forest. Sambisa, I think what is important for the northern people to look into is who owns their lands. Because, okay, fine, I'm not sure, but officially, I think the state owns. You have to buy the land from the state because the state owns the land, right? Cool. Who was it? There was this official, a northern official, who was found. I think he was removed from APC, from the committee or whatever, and was accused of certain charges that have to do with crimes with money laundering and stuff. So with auditing and stuff, they found out that a lot of his properties were worth billions of naira. He had billions of naira, 2 billion naira cash in 6 different Nigerian banks. A northern politician, and owned so many farms and owned so many many farms and land that were worth half a billion naira each. So that made me think, actually, the land that you guys are actually meant to use for your own personal business, your leaders own them, use it for their private businesses, make money off it, and then force you to have to come to the south because, of course, you have to survive. And if that's what and that's the way you've been doing things for years in your culture and all that to make money and survive, then of course you have to do that and then go to the south. So it's like the north need to wake up and look at how they're being treated, because the land that is meant to be theirs, that they're meant to use as their resource for their consumption and their use, they're not doing that. And it's like, from that reason, from that politician alone, I'm like, wow. So then think about the prominent northern politicians that own so many land and so many farms, and they're using it for their personal whatever, and then they're making so much money, and then it's at the expense of what their people should own and use for themselves. So yeah, they need to question that, because a lot of land is not being used. And if you look at the geography, the north has a lot of land. Because I'm so sorry, but how have their ancestors been surviving for so many years? Of course, you understand, those Metamphonio moving and nomadic, all that. But really and truly, around, from northern Nigeria to like Sudan and stuff, like they've been herding for thousands of years. And the argument of land, and what do you call it, how fruitful the land is, so like is it able to produce plants for feeding and all that. The argument is kind of baseless. You can't really use that, because how have the ancestors been surviving, even in other, even in yeah, it's ecology. They must have survived. There's no way. There's actually no excuse. So yeah, I guess this is a good thing. It's a good development, absolutely. Herders may migrate to the north. They will migrate to the north, because they're gonna have to, except they all go into Imo State, because that's the only state that has not even signed the law, the bill into law. There might be others, but I think mainly it is. I think right now, as of now, what we know of, it's only Imo State. So again, it's either the north, they all go back, or they go to Imo State, because that's why they're allowed to do that. So yeah, somebody says, I have never seen a people so wrong as our herders. They believe that they might be actually right, and like the 19th century, they can force their will on fellow Nigerians. It's not this, they're elites, and they themselves, the majority, don't even know how they're being treated. That is the main thing, and that is the reason why anytime it comes to solidarity with the north and the south, to just look and just think and want to make change, it's never gonna happen, because they're not on the same page. And then you have to look at religion as well, that is also tying them down in terms of restricting them to hold their leaders accountable. That's it. Literally, that's it. That's it. Somebody here says the best thing for them to migrate is the best thing for them is to migrate to the north. A lot of unused land abundantly, but then they are owned. That's it. When we do the right things, it makes you have to question. So instead of herders to be angry and entitled to land that is not theirs, excuse me, they have to now think, we're going back to our space. Where's our land? Who owns it? Why we don't have access to it? What is going on? They need to ask these questions. That's it. Put what you think about this. Listen, do you think that, for exactly Imo State, because they haven't signed it, do you think that it's more likely that herders will move there? And what would you think the reactions of the residents would be like? But I think, and don't forget to like and subscribe.